Hey there guys, it's Andrew the Knight, and today we're going to be looking at the fingerprints on the Stealth Black version of the HTC One. For comparative purposes, I've got my black HT One X. I forget what they actually call this colour, it's pretty much identical. On camera they do look very similar. I'd say in real life the one is slightly darker, this almost has a slightly browny bluey tint in some lights. The black just looks a lot darker generally in most conditions. Now obviously if you get a black device, it's always going to be an issue with fingerprints from the extreme end, which is piano black, which is that sort of shiny PS3 or PSP plastic and that colour. With aluminium actually it's not as bad as I thought it would be, but it's still not brilliant. So without wishing to get too biological, I have cleaned these down a bit. I'm just going to rub the plus again a bit just to try and clear it up, and the plus is a bit harder to clear. You can see you've still got smudge marks and things, it looks a bit messy. It does look worse on camera because of the light, but you can see because the aluminium is so smooth on the one, you can fairly easily clean it up to make it look pristine. But yeah, so without getting too biological, if it's a hot day and you tend to sweat with your hands, you are going to notice quite a lot of fingerprints. I've been generally alright because it's been really cold and my hands don't tend to sweat that much, but there's been a few times I've been using it outside or when I've been gaming and the phone heats up. And yeah, you do start to, and I'm going to see if I can replicate, these are fairly dry hands. You can see there, there's a few fingerprints emerging. They sort of fade away after a while, but they do leave a bit of residue occasionally. They were actually fairly good. I'm just going to lick my hands ever so slightly, which is slightly disgusting, but it's my own phone, so you know, and it's all for the sake of science. So this sort of emulates if you've got a bit of sweat on your hands. You can see they do show up. Same thing again on the One X Plus. You can see it is generally a bit worse on the Plus, so if you've got that as a benchmark you can expect it to be slightly better. I'm now going to completely soak my hands, and again I apologise for this, and touch it again, and you can see there it does start to get messy fairly quickly, and I think it's better with saliva because it's a lot clearer, but when you sweat you've obviously got all the salts and things that come out with your sweat which do sort of give it streak marks. But I think the thing to take away from this is, yes, it's going to get messy if your hands sweat a bit or if your hands are sticky or greasy or whatever, but I think for the majority of the time it's not too difficult just to grab your phone, grab a fistful of your shirt or just rub it on your trouser legs, and it's going to clear it up 90% of the time fairly quickly. The other thing I would say as a caveat is most of the time you're not looking at the back of your phone, so I tend to not mind too much. I do clean it. If I see it and I put it down and it's got a bit of scuff mark on the back, I will just clean it up. You can use just a bit of mineral water on a wet rag, and that just gets it up really, really nicely. But yeah, so you are going to get more fingerprints than on the white version, but for me it's an ample trade-off. I think this black version looks really, really nice. I think it looks really, really cool. So yeah, if you've got any other requests you want to see, fingerprints and scuffs seem to be the two big things with the One X. Sorry, the One. I need to start getting the... I think this is a problem with HTC's naming conventions. They're so bloody close that even someone reviewing them tends to get confused. But anyway, that's a topic for another video. So yeah, anything else you want to see, just drop me a line, and I'll see you guys next time. Ta-ra.